Good afternoon from Edmonton, everyone. It's Anifa Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, I thought I would talk about something that's very important to all of us and really is the foundation of everything that we experience as humans. And today, I thought I'd call this video Diet, Divinity, and Yoga. And these are all the things that I feel are very important in everyone's lives, and not just people who are spiritually inclined, but especially for those of you who are spiritually inclined. I wanted to put this video out for allowing your minds to reflect on some ideas that have been shared with us by so many different people and so many different figures that, again, I will explain a little bit more through this video, but let me start with the first quotation that I loved. And this one is an Ayurvedic proverb, or Ayurvedic, whichever way you want to say it. This proverb says, if your diet is wrong, medicine is of no use. If your diet is correct, medicine is of no need. And I love that. And I think most of us know those sorts of ideas of everything in moderation, and you can have some foods that aren't really that good for you, but not too much, and this whole idea of moderation, which is very true in terms of naturopathic medicine or in terms of Gita. I thought it was so neat to find this quotation in Gita, or at least this detail that I wanted to share with you. It says, what does Gita say about food? Moderation in eating, as in everything else, is what Lord Krishna advocates in the Bhagavad Gita. This quotation says, yoga is not for him who eats too much or for him who eats too little. And this is from chapter 6, verse 16 of the Gita. And so when we look at this and we think, not too much makes sense, and what about too little? And this would be people who say, oh, you know what, I'm just going to skip a meal because I need to lose weight, or I want to go to a wedding and I want to really look my best. And again, oftentimes people would skip a meal because they are trying to get to a weight loss goal. Yet, this whole idea, if your diet is correct, and you know that I would tie in here, your diet of what you're ingesting definitely includes food, and this is certainly the area I'm focusing on for this video. But do not forget that food has energy, and energy is both from the ground itself, the air, the sun, the sky, the rain. It's also from the people who are farming, the people that are taking care of this food until it gets to a place where it can be sold to us. And everyone along the way is contributing energy into this food. Now, what I love about when we think about spirituality and food is there is this recognition of be thankful for your food. And I think most religions or spiritual traditions actually talk about, say grace before you eat, or be thankful for your food, and that sort of idea. Most people are, especially at Thanksgiving and Christmas. Now, is it thankful for the quantity of food? Is it thankful for the taste of the food? Is it the variety of food? Or is it thankful for the process that has allowed food to come to us? And all of these are important. And of course, if anyone is saying a little prayer before you eat anything, wonderful habit to get into, but know what you're doing, not just a repeating of something that you've learned in terms of any specific prayer, anything, even if it's just like, thanks for this food. If someone is saying this and you just say the words to say the words, it really doesn't mean that much. So if we remember this food and the process that has happened to allow us to eat is pretty phenomenal. So then this whole idea of everything in moderation, this would also include, I'm sure you would know from me, that this includes the emotions that we put into the food, whether as we're cooking. So if it's like, oh, I'm so tired when I'm cooking, that's the energy that's adding to that food. If it's the, I don't even feel like eating this, but I'll eat it as you eat, is the energy that's being put into the food. Or, you know what, I've eaten this for 3 days, but I'm going to enjoy these bites. I'm going to savor them right now. This is the last day I'm eating this meal. All of that is a different energy too, right? So that's a grateful energy. You might be not so thrilled with the food that you're eating, or you might wish that you had something else at the time that you're having it, and you might make a plan for what to cook tomorrow if today's meal is not so exciting. Then also recognize that, wow, if you're saying grace, or if you're even thinking about your food, knowing that, wow, this process of this food getting to my table and being put into my system is such a wonderful experience. And I know that this food will be digested enough tomorrow for me to welcome a new meal. Things like that are very grateful energies. That's just an idea for you to work with. This next quotation basically reflects this too. So this one is this is an ancient Kimetic proverb. And Kimetic is Egyptian. And so it says, the body becomes what the foods are as the spirit becomes what the thoughts are. The body becomes what the foods are as the spirit becomes what the thoughts are. Now remember, there is spiritual energy that's entering the foods and everything. So whether it's the sun, whether it's the earth, whether it's our thoughts as we're picking or choosing our food from a grocery store even, or a market. And then there's the thoughts are. The spirit becomes what the thoughts are. As the spirit becomes what the thoughts are, the spirit is still in that food as it's alive and well. A lot of people eat vegetarian because it's the healthiest, it's the most living energy. It's so close to just being picked that I want to eat it as soon as I can so that it's got the most nutrients in it. Part of those nutrients are part of the energy that we put in at the last minute of I'm grateful for this, and wow, what an experience that this food has so much energy in it right now. But most people, and I saw this in Bali, as I've seen it here regularly too for often many years, and continues, that people sit down to eat and they might even say a prayer, but it's about eating and it's about the next thing, or let me finish this, or do I like this, or I don't feel so good, and those sorts of comments from anyone, it's adding to the food. And it's truth. It could be truth. I don't feel that anyone would say something that I don't feel so good when they're feeling good. But when we add it to the food, not only are we not feeling so good, then we're adding that thought and that energy into the food, which then affects what goes into my system further. And so as food is my medicine, and most of us know this line from Hippocrates, I mean, this is naturopathic medicine. This is the baseline for natural healing with foods, was from Hippocrates. And it was, let food be thy medicine. Now imagine how much strength we've got by adding to our own medicine by the content of our own thoughts. So gratitude, of course, is a very high energy vibration, and really meaning it, not just saying the words, right? So that sort of idea, or even gratitude for the people you're sitting with. Is it just, I just have to remember that I'm eating, that I'm going to think of the food, but the people that you're sitting with, it came from the same energy that created that food. And that's important for all of us to remember that, there's a lot to be grateful for. The chair that you're sitting on, wherever you're sitting, you could be sitting on the ground as I am right now, and all of it, there's so much to be grateful for. And maybe it only takes 30 seconds to flash through your mind that, wow, this is what gratitude feels like. And then eat your food and let it be your medicine. And then again, remember, the spirit becomes what the thoughts are. Remember that when we think about all of that spiritual energy that's going into our food, it's right to the last minute. And this brings me back to this idea of being grateful to, whether we say God, we say Brahman, we say the universe, we say Allah, we say anything, Jesus, anything that we relate to divine energy. We could say the unknown force that's part of this energy, that's spiritual, that I know is part of this energy. I came across this beautiful quote by Swami Vivekananda, and it said, be thankful for all food. It is Brahman. Again, we can say God. His universal energy is transmuted into our individual energy and helps us in all that we do. Helps us in all that we do. Now, if you are familiar with a lot of Vedic teaching, and of course I hope that you're learning something through these videos too, and I'll probably talk a little bit more about this aspect next time, but our food becomes our body. It is what becomes our body. So this whole idea of you are what you eat took on a whole different light for me today when I was reflecting on it, because we think about we are what we eat. Now we're spirit, and wow, spiritual energy has added to this food to come into our system, and we are the same spirit. Now we are what we eat. We're also adding in our own tainted biases. Oh, why did that person say that to me today? I can't believe I'll have to speak to that person tomorrow. Or I'm not getting enough sleep. Or anything that can go through the mind is adding to the spirit of our food. We are doing it. We are that spirit. And we're part of that spirit that has come through that food. And so this idea of being grateful, or you are what you eat, in in Vedic scripture, it is very much, but I know I've spoken about this a few times, but these words, these Sanskrit words, which you are that, tattvam asi, that you are, and this is that spirit you are. And what is the spirit you want to feed your body? You're putting that spirit into it, even to your last bite or your first bite. So all of this awareness that, oh, you are that, or aham brahmasmi, this term, I am God's energy, this knowing this about ourselves, that yeah, you know, whether you are thinking of duality and you think of God, there's God and here's me, that energy is coming through me for everything in my existence. So whether it comes through the plants that I eat, whether it comes through the sunshine that I feel, whether it comes through the air that I'm breathing, all of this is God energy. And today I would love for you to reflect on this as you either cook or eat food today. And I finally wanted to finish with this final quote by Thomas Keller. And it says, "A recipe has no soul. You, as the cook, must bring soul to the recipe." Bring soul to your recipes, everyone. I wish you a fabulous day ahead, and I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.